downtown New Orleans. Coming up, we got a good matchup on tap here, as it'll be the Kansas City Chiefs taking on the New Orleans Saints. The kicker, Harrison Butker, ready to get this one started. And we are underway from the Superdome. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. Carr right away going to look to throw. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. Now back to throw. He gets it complete to A.T. Perry. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Throwing on 1st down is Carr. Throw left side complete. That's Perry. Touchdown, New Orleans. A.T. Perry, 47 yards. And the Saints need just 3 plays to go down and take the early lead.
You know, as a head coach, you can't hide everything from your team. They know that people think that they're not supposed to be on the field with them. So they designed a heck of a game plan, didn't they? Nice pass start, get out after them, and maybe let everyone know that they're here to compete.
And get this home crowd behind them early as well.
Yeah, that's a huge part of it, isn't it? Because if you get the home crowd involved, sometimes you can ride that wave, and that gives you a little added pep.
The point after, good by Groupie. And that makes the score 7-0. After the touchdown, here's Groupie to kick this one away. They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. And he returns this to the 22. Will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their own 22. Here's Pacheco to begin the drive. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a 1st down.
That's pretty much meat and potatoes right there, wasn't it? Just go right at them and let your big horse charge up the middle. Not too fancy there, was it?
Nothing fancy at all, challenging that defense, and on that go-around, the offense won the challenge. On 1st down, they go back to Pacheco. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Now a 2nd and 10. Here's Pacheco once again. And able to use his blockers to get this up over the 40. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
That's why the guy with the headsets is down there. All right, they know what they're doing because they got stuffed on a running play on 1st down. And I think myself and probably the fans were saying throw the football in this situation. But he knew what he was doing, called another run, and now they've got 3rd and short.
And he will have a Chiefs 1st down, I do believe. Yeah, pass. He's got it by about a yard there on 3rd and 3.
A lot depended on the spot there, and he got it, but it wasn't by much, was it? I remember Coach Madden talking about, depending on which foot the official used, that would tell you whether you had the first down or not. You want that upfield foot to be the one that...
Oh, his first throw of the game, going to be intercepted. Picked off by Alontae Taylor, and the Saints are going to take over at their own 41. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. They'll start in excellent field position following the INT. A good start to the drive. That's caught out on the left side. Down the left sideline. Touchdown, New Orleans. A.T. Perry with his second touchdown in this opening quarter. And the Saints are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Still first quarter, 2 receiving touchdowns for him. How are they going to slow him down?
I think they're thinking about altering their game plan. Whatever they came in with, now maybe you switch a better cover guy to him. Or you make sure you have more people in his general area wherever he lines up to at least try and discourage them from throwing the ball to him.
Carr will look to throw. Escaping the pressure right. So unable to throw it in for 2 from the 2. Let me ask you, as a former DB, what changes there around the goal line on a 2-point conversion as far as how you're defending it?
You just make sure you never back up and you never retreat. You establish yourself really on the line of scrimmage, put your heels on the goal line at worst, and if they're going to throw the ball, make them throw it over your head because they're going to run out of space because in the back of the end zone, never let a guy catch one in front of you.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. Charles, it's kind of gut check time. Look, I know it's early, first quarter, just their second drive of the game, but they've already thrown the interception, given up the score. You're down double digits. They got to figure out something and pretty quickly here.
No doubt about it. And when we look at that sideline, I'm sure you're observing the same thing I am. I don't like the body language at all. They look like they're in a state of stunned disbelief. So to me, we always talk about someone stepping up and making a big play. I think it would behoove them if multiple guys step up and make big plays right now. They need something positive.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Lonnie Johnson picks it. Across midfield. Hang on here. They declined that. So the yardage will stand.
There has to be confusion coming from the bench to the field about what their intentions are, because you guarantee they want the penalty. Turn down that big yardage gained against them. Instead, they turn down the penalty, and the yardage stands.
Now this one complete downfield on the left side. So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20. Here's Carr to throw. And he's got it. Touchdown. 3rd touchdown pass now for Derek Carr, as his guys are able to push that lead out a bit further. Well, just a sensational start for this offense, Charles. 3 drives, 3 passing touchdowns.
Is that like mentioning a perfect game in baseball? Or are we cool to do it here in football, partner?
No, I think you can do it here in football. I think perfect game in baseball, that's its own category.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. Could not imagine a worse start for that secondary. Or let's face it, a better one for this offense. No chance they stop passing now the way that it's going. I think they're going to continue to press the ball downfield and hopefully reap the same results.
After the touchdown, here's Groupie to kick this one away. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively. Obviously, 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that color jersey all week, not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
Now 2nd and 7 from the 23. Throwing now is Mahomes. He's got him in, complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. Mahomes now on 1st down. Catch is made by Hardman. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. We are in for a good one as we're through one on EA Sports. The Chiefs with the football as we start the 2nd quarter as they go to work on a 1st and goal. Mahomes now to throw. And that's caught. It's Kelsey. Touchdown, Kansas City. 8 yards on the touchdown pass. And the Chiefs get a bit closer. He was on point throwing the ball right there. He had the big play to get him down close, and then he delivers a touchdown pass on 1st and goal.
And you mentioned the big play that got him down close. I think that big play left him reeling a little bit. They didn't recover from it. And you know they always talk about having to have a short memory on defense after a big play against you. Looks like their memory was a little too long there.
Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped it to 23-yard line. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. A big-time play there for New Orleans. 53 yards. So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. Carr going to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Everything about that play tells you about today's NFL offenses and what they're asking out of running backs. You can't just be a guy who can run the football. You have to be able to catch it as well, and he didn't get that done on that play.
That's going to be caught. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. So 3 plays already 1st and goal, and they are wasting little time. They'll try and run for it with Miller. And he takes it across and into the end zone. Touchdown, Saints. A touchdown run there from a yard out. And the Saints add 6 to their lead. Well, that was a quick drive. The passing game set it up, and then the running game finishes it off.
And how about how few plays it was to get it done? But they drew it downfield and then pounded it into the end zone. And as a former defender, I can tell you, it hurts just a little bit.
And he's going to go down. Can't get rid of it, so a sack on the 2-point try. After the touchdown, here's Groupie to kick this one away. And we'll see a return here from the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive.
A strong showing their last time out. They scored the touchdown, but Charles, they look up and they're still down double digits, so you feel like just to keep pace, this drive
and Mahomes misfires again, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line.
A nightmare of a first half for him. That's now 3 interceptions. But Charles, with his talent, if anyone can shake this off and right the ship, it's him.
I agree, because you don't get to be one of the best quarterbacks in the league without developing some major mental toughness. So I expect him to go in the locker room at halftime, hit the reset button, and come out a new guy in half number 2. I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up, not that time. Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. Back to throw here.
Targeting Alvin Kamara. Got it near the sideline.
And he will reach the 5-yard line before going out of bounds. That one goes for 30 yards.
This offense is looking very comfortable here in this first half. Very relaxed, very smooth, very efficient. No wasted motions. Things are definitely going their way, and they continue to move the ball downfield.
No gain, and it's 2nd down.
That's a nice job defensively to make sure everyone was accounted for, because ordinarily you pick up the guys downfield and sometimes you forget about the running back. In this case, they did not and dropped him for no gain.
And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down. Carr. Dropped back at the 15-yard line. Michael Dana with a big-time sack on 3rd down. It's a loss of 7. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. The offense stays out there. A big challenge here from this far back, but they're going for it on 4th and goal. They'll go for it. It's Carr. And he's got him. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Make it 4 touchdown passes now for Derek Carr. And the Saints are able to widen their lead here in this first half. They'll look to throw. Flushed out right. And this is going to be caught. It's good. And that extends their lead by 2 more. He hits the big target for the 2-point try. Defenses hate those guys, especially around the goal line.
It's hard to decide who you're going to put on him. Are you going to put a smaller corner on him? Are you going to put a safety who doesn't have maybe the same coverage skills? How about a linebacker? He may have the size, but he's not used to really covering in space. That's why the tight end gives you such a great advantage when you're throwing the football.
After the touchdown, here's Groupie to kick this one away. And we see James. He will not return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25. KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back, but make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
So the incompletion, and now it's 2nd and 10, again from the 25-yard line. Here's Mahomes to throw. Well, this one complete. It's Rashee Rice. Now inside the 25. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown.
Rashee Rice,
75 yards.
and the Chiefs are able to make some inroads here to that deficit.
As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Extra point by Butker is on target.
And that'll make this a 19-point ball game. Well, it is still a lopsided score, so they're going to try a second quarter onside kick. And the Saints hands team able to rein this one in. A second quarter onside kick there that failed. Is that something that maybe they had dialed up before this game started?
It feels like it, doesn't it? That they thought they had the right situation, you know, and the right approach in going after it. Also may signal that they feel like they have the superior team, that they can try these sorts of things and it won't come back and hurt them later.
And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. Now Carr. Feeling the pressure here and taken down. A sack back at the 7. Now from the 7, here's 2nd and goal. Now Carr.
Targets Miller here on the out route. He's got him.
Touchdown, Saints.
Kendre Miller.
He scored on the ground and through the air.
And the Saints will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. Well, he is putting in a great all-around game, Charles. He already ran one in for a score, and now they utilize him in the passing game.
And they put a lot of pressure on a defensive coordinator and a defense, don't they? Because they're used to him as a runner. But it turns out he's just as dangerous as some of those receivers, and he showed it right there. You don't pay enough attention to him defensively, he makes you pay.
After the touchdown, here's Groupie to kick this one away. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And with the score where it is, even though I think they'd love to get back to the locker room, they may be forced to try and get something out of this drive.
And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Lonnie Johnson picks it.
He's on his way.
And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. So now the Saints offense coming back out there. They're going to be called on to go for 2. Now after the INT, it's Carr. Eluding the pressure right.
I know they didn't tack on the 2 points, but I liked their attempt. After the interception return for a touchdown, I was thinking to myself, forget kicking it, go for 2, and they did.
Well, yeah, and everybody's scrambling. Maybe you catch the defense on their heels. They weren't ready to be out there.
Yeah, it's almost like a sudden change, right? There's a turnover, you take it away, they stuck it in the end zone, keep the momentum going. Give credit to the defensive guys for rallying and stopping that 2-point attempt.
The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. And the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these 2 teams go.
There he goes, right side.
Mecole Hardman.
And in for the Chiefs touchdown.
Mecole Hardman as the first half is winding down. And the Chiefs are able to cut into this lead in the final seconds of the first half. Extra point by Butker is on target.
And that will cut this lead down to 25. Well, it is still a lopsided score, so they're going to try a second quarter onside kick. And I think the Chiefs have it. They do.
Well, CD, you understand. I mean, they're so eager trying to get back in this game here in the fourth quarter, but they touched that one a little too early before it went 10 yards.
Brandon, in such a high-stakes scenario, everyone's feeling the pressure on this play. The special teams coordinator, which one is he going to pick in terms of kicks? Can the kicker execute it? Can the team wait for 10 yards?
And now off to the races down the right side. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. A big play on the catch and run, covering 34 yards.
This play is a thing of beauty when it works as designed because they let the running back slip out of the backfield and head down the sideline on a wheel route. Number one, it's easy for him.
Touchdown! A.T. Perry in the final seconds of the first half. And the Saints will extend their lead here just before halftime.
And that's a lead that excites a team as they head into the half. Good way to finish things off.
Yeah, able to extend that lead, and you always say it, that can totally change the complexion of half number 2.
Yeah, it changes your morale, changes your outlook. But even before that, let's see if they decide to kind of squib kick or what they're going to do on the kickoff, because you don't want to give up a big play right before the half ends.
Good point. And he is into the end zone, so they get 2 more on the board here just before halftime.
Maybe time for one play on offense. 7 seconds to go in the half as the kick is away. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much as he's marked down officially at the 21.
Final shot before the half from Mahomes. He's going to let this one go deep. And oh my goodness, here's a 5th interception.
Picked off by Alontae Taylor, and he will be brought down on what will be the final play of this first half.
That's it for the first half. 2 more quarters to go. We'll have plenty more to see after the break. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon.
It'll be the Chiefs football to begin quarter number 3, and they trail here as we are back underway now on EA Sports. They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And they have a mountainous deficit looming in front of them. It was really, Charles, a disaster in the first half. So where do they go from here?
Well, first thing they have to remember is that what's done is done, and there's no going back. And now you have to play this drive by drive. Obviously, come back in this spot, pretty unlikely. But you still have to go out, take pride in your work, and try and put something together here in the second half.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
2nd and 10.
Working from the gun, Mahomes. And that's caught inside the 35. Mahomes finding his tight end, Kelsey, for a big one. 41 yards. Mahomes to throw once more. And now here is another interception.
Picked off by Alontae Taylor. And the Saints force the turnover. They'll take over at the 10. Carr going to lead the Saints up here 1st and 10.
From back at their own 10-yard line. They'll try and start this drive in the air.
Completes it to Perry.
And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. And they're going to speed things up here. Carr now on first down.
A quick throw there is incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
Glad to be in the great city of New Orleans, rolling along here in the 3rd quarter, 2nd and 10. Meanwhile, Carr's throw complete there to Perry. Down the left sideline.
Touchdown, Saints.
A.T. Perry.
68 yards.
And the Saints are an extra point away from going up by 40. This offense, they were dynamic in the first half. The halftime break, that didn't slow them down at all. Big strike here in the third quarter.
It's almost as if they were saying, it's not just our skill in the...
And he's going to be taken down. It's a sack, and they fail on the try for 2.
After the touchdown, here's Groupie to kick this one away. And we'll see a return here from the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable. Now, a win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. They go play fake. Mahomes. He'll check this one down to Pacheco. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. And quickly, they get to the line. They fake the give. Now Mahomes. That is caught at the 7-yard line. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. Here's 2nd and 3. On play action, it's Mahomes. Dancing to his left. And he maybe makes it back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. 7th play of the drive now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. Now Mahomes. Buying time to his left. And he'll be hit as he releases it. And that'll fall incomplete.
They certainly did a nice job improvising there, extending the play, hoping someone would come open downfield, but they never did.
Mahomes going to go on 4th down. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. On 1st down, Carr. Got a man complete to Miller. And they work this out past the 25. And they're going to hurry back to the line now. On 1st and 10, here's Carr. Here's Johnson with a reception. Look at the big man rumble. Touchdown! Jerron Jackson, 72 yards. And the Saints will add on to their lead here in the final minute of the 3rd. When they drew that up, I don't think they envisioned it ending in a house call, but he got it and took it all the way home.
Really impressive run after the catch, wasn't it? That was really special by him. But let's face it, in today's NFL, those tight ends are often former wide receivers or maybe even sometimes bigger running backs. They just put them in a position to get a great matchup and make plays like that.
And they're just not going to let up as he is into the end zone here for 2 more.
After the touchdown, here's Groupie to kick this one away. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover,
he's got it at the 15. And in for the Chiefs touchdown. Rashee Rice. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Chiefs are able to eat in just a bit to this sizable deficit.
Now Mahomes to the line as the Chiefs are going to go for the two-point try. Mahomes will throw for it. And this is caught, so they do get the 2. Still a very large deficit, but maybe something to feel a little better about. I guess the last score wasn't enough for them. They want more. Here comes an onside kick. And the Saints hands team able to rein this one in. The risk reward of the onside kick. When you don't get it, the risk comes out to play, and here they gave up great field position.
And that's the key to everything, because you're trying your best to press advantages when you have them, and field position leads you to that type of play calling, whether you want to blitz or whether you want to throw the ball deep, those types of things. Now they've given up that type of field position, the advantage is switched to their opponent.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. To throw his Carr. Touchdown, Saints! A.T. Perry from 17 yards out. And the Saints continue to pour it on here in the 4th. So still throwing here in the 4th quarter with a pretty sizable lead, and now that lead even more sizable. And if nothing else here, CD, a chance to pile on some stats before this one wraps up, and he did just that.
Brandon, convention tells us it's time for them to get off the gas a little bit, right? But you and I both know the receivers don't want them to, because, as you noted, this is their chance to pile on the stats. If they got their way, they try to get every single spot in the depth chart points before this game is over.
And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner.
Throw left side is complete on the diving effort. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. Mahomes now on 1st down. Looking downfield for Kelsey. It's caught inside the 25. Mahomes fighting his tight end Kelsey for a big one. 41 yards. So a big play as it gets him all the way down to the 20 now for 1st and 10. Touchdown! Patrick Mahomes fighting Mecole Hardman. And the Chiefs get a small measure of revenge as they cut into this 4th quarter deficit. Mahomes now going to lead his guys up for the 2-point try. They'll try and throw for it. And this is caught, so they do get the 2. Still a very large deficit, but maybe something to feel a little better about. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And the Saints hands team able to rein this one in. Now they're down big here in the 4th. They had to try the onside kick. Can't fault them for the effort at least.
No, you can't at all. And if nothing else, now you've put something that you're trying to practice, right?
And he will not get away from the pressure here. Carr taken down. They're going to hurry back to the line now. Now Carr throwing on 2nd down. Oh, he had a man running free, but he overshot him, and it's incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Carr. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th.
Express, 7:34. Raider 1.
Carr going to throw. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. Again, it's Carr. Touchdown, Saints. Juwan Johnson, a beast in the red zone with his 2nd touchdown of the game. And the Saints are pouring it on. The Saints offense and Derek Carr, they're still on the field, so they figure to go for 2 here. They'll try and run it in with Miller. And boy, talk about adding insult to injury. He's into the end zone to tack on 2 more. After the touchdown, here's Groupie to kick this one away. They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. Oh, and miscommunication on the lateral. The ball's out. And he's into the end zone. A fumble return and a Saint touchdown. So they get the 1-score kickoff, get a fumble, take it right back to the house. 2 quick touchdowns within a matter of about 10 seconds on the game clock.
It's like a big 1-2 punch that may lead to a knockout.
And they are just not going to let up as he is into the end zone here for 2 more. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And we'll see a return here from the end zone. And they'll get him down right at the 25-yard line, so the same result, and he opted for the touchback. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD, but unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
And a 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. He had to absorb another little bump there from the defense, another incomplete pass. We've seen a lot of that tonight.
They've come after him all night long. Nothing but pressure in his face. He's trying to stand up there and make throws. It's hard enough to do when the pocket is clear. When you got all those people in front of you, almost impossible to have a good completion percentage.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
Now Mahomes got to have this one. That's laid out deep for Rice. And my goodness, another interception. Off to the races. Inside the 20. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. The defense more than did its job. Now the offense is summoned onto the field as they'll go for 2. They'll try and run it in with Miller. And he will not make it to the goal line as his try for 2 is going to come up empty. But that's little consolation to this defense as they have been porous all game long. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20. KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles. And now here is another interception. Marcus May with a pick, and he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line.
7:34.
Carr going to throw here. He's able to find Miller. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Carr now on 1st down. And he whips that one incomplete there. Well, their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly...
And this will be caught, and the carnage continues. It's another touchdown.
Well, they just continue to roll. And Charles, for you and I, we want the close games, but for them, it has to be so nice to enjoy this big cushion.
I can't remember the last time we saw them play this loose and have this much fun. I think they'd love to be able to capture this game, carry it with them from week to week, and be able to execute like this in all the rest of their games. I know we could sit up here and dance around it a little bit, but going for two in this situation, somebody doesn't like someone else. There's no doubt in my mind.
Well, what they couldn't see is you lean back in your chair and you went, yeah, that's not a good decision. They didn't get it, though.
Yeah, I don't think you can just say, well, my kicker's hurt in this spot.
No,
okay.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. Well, CD, it's all window dressing at this point. I mean, the best they can do is end the game with a nice drive to maybe build some momentum to move forward into their next contest.
Yeah, and with how lopsided this game has been, even one score might not do a lot of cosmetic.
And that's caught inside the 35. And somewhat of a measure of revenge as he's in for the touchdown, but they still trail big time.
He'll take it, but he won't be able to smile about it.
Well, CD, they just haven't had a whole lot to cheer about or really grasp onto in this game. They've been dominated, but at least they get a late touchdown here, something positive to put on film for tomorrow's session.
Yeah, they're still trying to execute, trying to get some positives on their board and ledger sheet, and keep this from being a total loss. Give them credit. They're going down fighting.
So it would no doubt be a miracle comeback from here, but let's see what they can do starting with the onside kick. And the Saints hands team able to rein this one in. Fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number as empirical.
And the offense moving quickly to the line.
29.
Carr going to look to throw.
And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front. Well, let's face it, not a lot left for them to prove in this game, but they're still throwing the football. I guess, of course, CD, you could always get the backup some work. There's new plays to try out. But some people, let's face it, they just want to run the score up. It's fun.
I love the way that you expressed that because you gave plenty of reasons why people like to do things, but ultimately, they just like to keep their foot on the gas, and they just want to tromp on teams. And what I like to see is, if you like to do that, how do you handle it when it comes back against you? On those days where someone can run it up on you, do you handle it the way that you expect your opponent to? If so, keep doing your thing.
The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got two more to use here in the final stages. This offense 2 for 2 converting on these thus far, so why not try again here on fourth down? They'll go for it. Now they go for it on fourth, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. The Saints' decision to go for it backfires, and the Chiefs' defense comes up with a stop. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. Well, partner, and my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. And they're going to be set up in the red zone right around the 17-yard line.
The Saints take over.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10.
6:37.
Now after the INT, it's Carr. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play.
Groupie for the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. After the touchdown, here's Groupie to kick this one away. And they'll be set up with good field position here as he gets this up over the 40-yard line.
Even after that big-time return, it's not looking great for them today. But if nothing else, even if the miracle doesn't happen, they can turn to this play and say, hey, we can move forward. Maybe it's a building block for the rest of the season.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. That's caught inside the 20. And he's across for the touchdown. Too little, too late. But he does get in for 6.
No wonder you're grinning. You just beat me in our fantasy league.
Indeed I did, my good man. And CD, they just haven't had a whole lot to cheer about here. But it may be cliche, but give them credit for this. They've continued to fight and scratch and claw, and they get the touchdown here in the fourth quarter.
And I'm okay with that cliche, all right? Maybe it'll alleviate the sting a little bit because at least they can look in the mirror and realize they fought all the way through. Horrible game for them, not one they'll want to remember, but at least they'll keep their heads up and have some pride when they leave this stadium.
So they go with a pass there on the two-point try and able to convert it, Charles.
And a good job by the offense figuring out their two-point play and using it well. It's interesting how people are using the strategy nowadays, though, isn't it?
It really is, and I don't know how much that particular play factored in, but with the PAT moving back in 15-16, that kind of changed things, didn't it?
It's really a part of everyone's...
And they're going to finish this one off strong. It's a return touchdown to add on to their lead in the final stages. The Saints offense and Derek Carr, they're still on the field, so they figure to go for 2 here. They'll try and run it in with Miller. And he will not make it to the goal line as his try for 2 is going to come up empty. But that's little consolation to this defense as they have been porous all game long. And the Chiefs are going to make the recovery. And that's why you have your hands team out there on the field. Those are the best guys ready to make that play.
And let's face it, it was executed well. It wasn't a bad kick. It wasn't anything like that. Just that the normal outcome actually came to play. Analytics will tell you it's a very low possibility of getting the ball for the team kicking it in an onside kick situation.
You're all about the numbers, aren't you? And that is going to officially draw the curtain on this one as the last throw intercepted. Picked off by Alontae Taylor. And the Saints come up with a late turnover, but it will probably only matter to the statisticians as this ball game is